It's KFI AM 640, and you're listening to The Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Time to have some fun. The rain's coming in, and unless you live in a burn scar area, you are going to enjoy the rain. If you live in a burn scar area, well, it's going to be a long weekend for you. A long weekend. There are already warnings going out about evacuations, voluntary evacuations. I got one on my phone today. I saw something come across the television set earlier. We are in for a lot of rain over the next 5 days. Thursday, it's already started really in the valley. There was some drizzling today, a little drizzling action in the valley. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we might have 6 straight days of rain. 6 days of rain. It's important that people know this because if you live in an area that was burned out last January, and that's almost a year ago, if you can believe that, that's crazy, then you've got to be very aware of what's going on. A lot of this rain is expected to come in the wee hours of the night when you might be sleeping. So there are going to be some sleepless nights for a lot of people in the Altadena area, Arcadia, Pasadena, Pacific Palisades, Malibu. The people that got really hit with those 2 radical fires in January, you have got to be aware. Your family's got to be aware, your friends. So we are going to give you as much information as we can when this rain's going to come in and how much.
What I'm seeing, and that's the key, what you just said there, is that it doesn't look like, for the most part, it's going to be a ton at any given time.
Oh, good.
But as you say, the fact that I'm looking at the NWS now, National Weather Service, and they got chance of showers all the way through at least Tuesday.
Yeah, it's crazy. And some days they're looking at more than almost 2 inches.
Yeah.
And in the foothills.
In exactly the places that you're talking about, the fire area.
Yeah, exactly. And in the foothills, they're looking at 2 to 4 inches in some of the foothills. So here's what, according to my cell phone, which is pretty accurate.
Doesn't lie to you?
No, not really. Not really, Crush. It all starts tonight around midnight, and then it'll continue all day tomorrow. 2 inches in the Valley Flats, which means the 5 freeway is going to close because the 5 freeway always closes when there's more than 8 drops in the valley. So Thursday all day from midnight tonight until midnight tomorrow night, nothing but rain. And then Friday, let's go through this again. Thursday, the heavy rain's not going to start till late. Late Thursday is going to be the heavy rain, somewhere after around 6 p.m. Again, this is according to my trusty cell phone.
And they had moved that down because initially they were saying, like yesterday, that it was going to come in late tonight or early tomorrow morning. So they moved it forward about 24 hours.
Yeah, and then it's going to be all day Friday. Yeah. From midnight to midnight, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all the way until 1 o'clock on Sunday. So you have Friday, Saturday, all day rain, all night rain, and then Sunday until about 1 o'clock or so, 2 o'clock. And then a little bit of dusting on Monday between 8 a.m. and noon. And then on Tuesday, in the wee hours of the morning, from about 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock. All right, let's find out what's going on with Danny Romero. What's going on with that rain out there,
You can see things showing the rain that's in play, but look at this. What you're seeing here is a lot of moisture showing up that's on the ground right now, or I should say not hitting the ground, known as virga. And that's going to be the rain that you're going to feel much later when it does hit the ground, and quite a bit still coming our way. So we're going to be tracking all that for you. Now, the temperatures are going to stay fairly mild here, and you see the cloud cover widespread. So 70s in Lancaster, Palmdale, Victorville there. Cooler on the coast right now, 66 in San Clemente, 69 for Long Beach, 64 in Santa Monica, 65 for Redondo Beach. So here's how it's going to set up for us next couple of days or so. We'll see some rain moving in late tomorrow. The clouds building more and more today and into Thursday. And then by Friday, now we're going to start seeing the really heavier rain. And we're talking about some pretty good amounts, 1 to 2 inches on Friday.
1 to 2 inches on Friday is a big deal.
And that's kind of just the beginning because there's still more to come. We head into now Saturday. Now we got more intense rain building up. Besides the heavy stuff on Friday, more so on Saturday, more rain added on. So flooding could then be a concern for us over Southern California.
Yeah, that's true. And then in Malibu and Pacific Palisades especially, and Altadena, looking at possible mudslides Friday and Saturday when the heavy rain comes in.
As we're at Fire Station 70 in Malibu, this is one of several areas that people can come and fill up sandbags to try and protect their property. There's actually a bit of a problem here this morning. They had a pallet of about 1,000 sandbags like this out overnight.
God, that technology really hasn't improved over the last 1,000 years. You're literally putting sand in a bag and tying it off and taking it home. Maybe 10,000 years. All these other technologies have improved. You know, the TV set isn't what it used to be. You know, it's not a 700-pound tube that you have to drag, through the house and it takes 3 minutes to warm up before you can watch it. That's improved a lot. Computers obviously improved a lot. But the sandbag, other than that new one that Home Depot sells, Quick Dam, that's like the newest technology, but they're a little expensive. They do work really well. We have 3 or 4 of them at home last couple of years during the rain. They do work. The Quick Dam, it's called Quick Dam. It weighs about 1.5 pounds. They stretch out to about 10 feet long, and then they absorb water, and they actually become their own sandbags as more moisture and more water soaks into them. And it's really a great way to protect your house. I don't know if there's any left at Lowe's and Home Depot, but if you can get in there, it's called Quick Dam. They're about $30-$35, and it'll be the best $30 to $35 you've ever spent if it can save you, from having to change your carpet out or your hardwood floors because your home is soaking wet.
Took all of them. So anyone showing up here this morning had no way to get all this sand into a bag to get it back to their property. They had to drive to another location, get another pallet of bags and bring it out here.
And these men and women who are in their 80s, they can't fill up a 40-pound sandbag and take it home. I hope there's people out there helping the older folks out with doing this.
They are once again on site, also the Malibu Library. But as folks here in Malibu discovered back in February, even if you have sandbags lined up, sometimes a wall of mud coming down a hill, it's not going to stop what's coming down like we saw several months ago. Here in Malibu, there are 2 2025 dates etched into everyone's mind. One, of course, is January 7th, when the Palisades fire ripped through town. The other is February 13th, when a storm caused massive mudslides down the hillsides above.
Nearly wiped us out.
Duke's Malibu was completely overtaken by mud, and here we are 11 months later, and they're still not open.
If you told me it would take it this long, I would have told you we were crazy. We were initially thinking partial by July and fully by maybe Labor Day, and now, probably getting into 2026, maybe by the year anniversary.
With another major storm coming this week, Caltrans put up K-Rail to try and prevent the same thing from happening again.
We jetted all of our drains. We'll do some stuff on the roof, like you said, like you're seeing right there, to minimize interior leaks.
You may remember this also at Duke's. There was a fireman, I think it was a fire captain, driving one of those white SUVs, and the mud came down and knocked him into the Pacific Ocean. Him, his car, his gear, right into the ocean. He ended up in the Pacific. He made it. He survived. But man, is that water powerful when it comes off these hills.
But it's really, like I said, just keeping the water out.
But it's hard. We don't want a lot of mud back on this property, no.
Right across PCH, Lynn Beeler saw mud inundate her Malibu bungalow's flower shop back in February.
Oh, boy.
It took her weeks to clear it all out.
It's called one wheelbarrow at a time.
Today, she went to get sand from nearby Station 70 and lined her property with sandbags.
We're all working really hard to bring this part of Malibu back. So it is a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah, Malibu's been hit really hard with fires and then floods. Now we got this weekend. It's tough out there.
Remnants of the fire remain in this part of Malibu. You can see trees having burn scars. In fact, this hillside you can see has given way recently. That, again, is the concern here. LA County issuing an evacuation warning for recent burn scars, including the Palisades burn scar, that's Pacific Palisades and Malibu. The hope is that the hillsides hold. Everything that could have come down came down back in February in our spring storms, but with the amount of rain that is coming this week, there was a lot of concern, a lot of anxiety that we might have a repeat of what we saw back here in February. We'll see if people utilize these sandbags, the K-rails, and just have a go bag ready in the event you're forced to evacuate. For now, we're live in Malibu. Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, we're going to keep you updated all day today, tomorrow, and Friday with this rain. So this is one of those times where you got to keep it on KFI. Now, normally you could enjoy music and on your ride home. Not today. Not today. It's KFI today, KFI tomorrow, KFI Friday, and throughout the weekend. We'll have people here all weekend monitoring the rain, the possible mudslides, all weekend. From now until this storm leaves, you must keep it right here on 640 AM, which is KFI.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Welcome to the program, Michael Monks. How you, bub?
My pleasure to be here on this rather dreary Wednesday.
We're keeping an eye on this. Now, I know where you come from, Northern Kentucky. Rain is not news.
No. Unless we're threatening the Ohio River to crest.
Right. I've been to Cincinnati and Cleveland and Columbus, and I remember being in Cincinnati at a baseball game, and they said there was a tornado watch that turned into a tornado warning. They stopped the game for about 8 seconds, blew by, and then they continued the game.
Yeah, we're a different breed there. We're tough.
Very tough.
Yeah. I mean, we had, a half an inch here a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was in meltdown. But I don't criticize different parts of the country when they have weather that's not as extreme as what we've experienced, because you just have different topography.
Sure.
You have different types of expectations and different regularity when it comes to this type of stuff.
And on the other hand, if you guys ever get a 3.4 earthquake, that's the talk of the town.
All month long. We did. Right. I think the last time was like 12 years ago, a nice little shaker. You felt it, right? No damage, nothing serious, but something like what would be a regular old Tuesday here in Southern California was definitely the talk of the town for like 4 days.
All right, let's talk rent. What are they doing downtown with rent?
Well,
they're messing up.
There's something called rent stabilized units in the city of Los Angeles. There's more than 650,000 of these things.
Wow.
That means that the rent can only be raised a certain amount of money. I don't live in one of those units, so my landlord can email me when the lease is up and say your rent's going up $1,000.
Right.
I don't have that protection, but a lot of renters do have a protection. Right now, that cap is 8%.
Oh, that's a lot.
So the rent can't go up more than 8%. And there are folks who would agree with you that 8% is a lot, except for the fact that the people who own the properties are saying, look, rents have not gone up that much in recent years. They're staying they're aligned with the market.
Right.
And we're also getting hurt on cost. The cost of owning buildings has gone up. Insurance is expensive. Sure. Utilities are expensive. The city's jacked up costs related to trash collection and sanitation and other things like that. So we can't have any types of restrictions that are this extreme. The proposal, Tim, was to cap the rent increases at 3%.
That sounds better.
As low as 0%.
That sounds horrible.
As long as it kept up with no more than 60% of the rate of inflation. So it's kind of a weird math thing. And that's how it was presented at City Hall today. You had a lot of people come out and speak. Tenants coming out to speak, and property owners and property managers coming out to speak. It looked like Congress. You had one side on one side of the City Hall and the other on the other side. You'd have applause at once, like the State of the Union.
Right. But the problem with that, Mr. Monks, is that when you do have when you establish these ceilings for rent, a lot of these landlords will hit the ceiling because they don't know 10 years down the line, if they go 0, 0, 0, 0, and then they're hit with a big bill, they'll go, oh, we can only get 8%. So they will do 8% every year. And let's say you pay $3,000 a month in downtown LA, which is not unusual.
Right.
And so the very first year it goes to $3,240, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 10 years, the $3,000 rent is $6,500 a month.
In 10 years.
In 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's too much. You know, they just did this thing in Burbank where they set the ceiling at 4%. They did it overnight. They didn't really ask many people, and they said 4%. You can't do more than 4%. Well, a lot of the people who own these buildings immediately put in the 4%, and they'll do that every single year. So the rent's going to go up more with these caps.
The other potential fallout is folks who own apartments that are rent stabilized may sell their units and may have them sold to folks who don't participate in this type of program. So you might have fewer of those properties that are available. There were folks who were talking about getting out of this business because of the restrictions. There was also a point made by Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez, who did ultimately vote in support of this cap, which was altered, I should note. It was marked at 4%.
Right.
with 90% of the rate of inflation. So it was a little bit better than what the property owners wanted, a little bit worse than what the tenants wanted. So there was a compromise made on the floor. But she said, this city makes it very expensive to live here. So when we talk about the cost of living, we need to be talking about the trash hikes and the taxes and those sorts of things that we have established here that is also on our hands.
But 8% is astronomical. I mean, 8%, you're quickly going to double your rent in, 7 or 8 years.
But the example you gave, Tim, was of a market rate rent.
Right.
And so I pay a market rate. And I'll just tell you, I pay $2,300 a month.
That's a pretty good
for my
price.
loft. Not a bad price. Yeah. It's a decent apartment, good 1,000 square feet loft in downtown LA. It's Skid Row near. Right. So that's, there's a bit of a trade-off.
When you rented it, did it say Skid Row adjacent?
No, that would be a bad real estate agent who put that in there. It said Fashion District.
All right, can you stay with us?
Sexy. Yeah, we're going to talk about, because they voted on something else today.
Okay, they voted on something else, and you were a hero over the last couple of days.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Oh,
and I'll tell you why. This man sitting in front of me saved a life, and he doesn't really want to talk about it, but I'm going to try to drag it out of him.
No, this is
all right. It's Conway Monks.
Selling it.
We're live on KFI.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
You're going to be on with a lot of rain this weekend.
Yeah,
a lot of rain talk.
We'll keep an eye on that if it's still coming down on Saturday. And if there's any trouble anywhere, we'll have the latest all day long on KFI.
All right. I don't think I oversold this. I know you accused me of doing that, but I think that the audience needs to know that you saved a life.
I saved an animal.
Okay. That's a life.
It's a life.
She's somebody.
She is.
Yeah. And there was a cat on Skid Row, and you and your spouse saved that cat and adopted it.
We'd seen this cat for a few nights hanging out in the parking lot in Skid Row, as we noted. My apartment's Skid Row near.
Okay.
So I'm
how far from Skid Row?
A block. In fact, my parking lot is now surrounded by tents. So Skid Row is absorbing the Fashion District.
Has Skid Row gotten closer to you since you've been down there? Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't even let me finish
Absolutely.
that sentence.
Yeah. I mean, all my neighbors live in tents.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And so there are animals on Skid Row.
Sure.
People have dogs and they live in the tent. But I saw a couple of cats hanging outside, and it's kind of heartbreaking. So let's go see if we can drop a little bit of food, and we did on Sunday. Left a little bit of food for this gray cat who was very small, and this orange cat who looked to be a little more grown. We put the food out. They didn't want to come near us, so we walked away, and they went and they ate it. When I left here on Monday and got home, I saw the gray cat again, walking around, looking for something to eat.
Right.
So I go in the little tienda at the bottom of our apartment, and I buy a little can, a big can actually, of wet food, and I take it over to this cat. And this cat eats licking the crevices of this can. This cat is starving.
Maybe the first can of food he's ever had.
Completely. We have a cat, Milo Frijoles. He lives upstairs with us and loves to watch the cats from the window. But I called the spouse. We were thinking about getting a new cat anyway. In fact, that day we had gotten text messages from a friend of a friend who's like, I've got some kittens, come take a look. And we were going to.
Ooh, perfect timing.
Saw this cat starving, and after she ate, she came over and just started rubbing on us and purring and falling on the ground.
Oh, that's the best.
It was like, go get the kennel. We go get the kennel, we bring it down, she gets right in it.
Oh, she had enough.
Yeah, she
had enough of the outdoor
get me
life.
off. And she has this meow like a cat that you would expect to have on Skid Row, where life is rough. It's
smoker's meow.
Yeah, I mean she's been around the block.
Right.
Okay, so she's filthy also. So we take her up and we immediately try to wash her. Here's the problem. We already have a cat and we live in a loft apartment, and they tell you if you're getting a second cat, this has to be sort of
slow process.
You need intervals.
Yeah.
Intervals
Very
of introducing
territorial.
these cats. They'll get along fine after a while.
Oh, good.
Ideally.
Okay.
But at first, you've got to have maybe the new cat in just one room. We only have one room. So I'm at Walmart in Southgate at 9:30 at night trying to find something that I can keep this cat in. And I find a dog pen that's meant for a yard. And I bring it up and I put her in. We put a blanket over top of it to make her feel secure. She was in there. She ended up being comfortable all night long. It was meow, meow, meow. And the cat, Milo's looking at this cat like, oh. hissing at it a little bit, but not too much.
In a zoo.
Completely.
Yeah.
Complete madhouse. I had to call in sick to work yesterday. I couldn't even come into work. Yes. But I was honest. I was like, look,
that's great.
I saved a cat. I've got to get it to the vet today.
Right.
And that's what we did. Found out it's a girl.
Oh, good. Okay. What was the other cat? Is the other cat a girl?
It's a boy.
Boy, okay. All right.
Now, this cat, whom we have named Dos.
Oh, like as in number 2?
Number 2.
Okay.
Dos.
All right.
Well, we thought it was a boy. We thought it was a good, what was that?
What was that?
Dos?
Number 2.
Yes, it's exactly a little turd. Yes, absolutely. So we thought it was a boy. I thought it was a boy, and so Dos sound like a cute name for a boy cat. And now she's stuck with this moniker, but she's healthy, no fleas, none of that. But she is apparently missing her front teeth, not the incisors, but the little tiny teeth that they have.
Well, maybe she's young enough where they'll still grow.
Yeah, but I also learned she may have been had by a male cat out there in the streets at a very young age, because they have little marks on the back of her neck where the male cat kind of holds on.
Oh,
to
my
the female.
God.
Like, this poor tramp
Yeah.
has been all over Skid Row.
And you saved her.
Brought her in.
That's great.
A Skid Row hooker cat.
And maybe that kitten's transitioning. Did you think about that?
I hope not. I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Right now, it's enough drama just bringing 2 cats in. I don't need any social pressure.
And so when you left today, you left them both
this is where I'm going to get in trouble, and I know the listeners are going to call in, and rightfully so, because this cat did not like being in the kennel. The cat likes being under the bed. When we would let her out to kind of sniff around, she'd go right under the bed and stay there. Milo had kind of kept his distance while monitoring her, occasional hissing. We both went to work today, and we left Dos under the bed, and Milo is out. So in about 30 minutes, I'll know if they're still alive.
They'll be alive. They may have had one fight, but they'll go to their separate corners.
Yeah.
And buddy, it really breaks my heart when I see dogs and cats outside and strays and on their own, because you can see it in their eyes that they don't want to be there. You saved the life, buddy.
Yeah.
You saved that cat's life, and I hope that cat brings you as much joy as you brought that cat.
I hope so, too. She does like us. She's just a little scared and a little confused. That's all to be understood. So we're giving her time. It took time for Milo. Right. And Milo loves us now. Right. He loves us so much, he runs all over our bodies all night long while we're trying to sleep.
Fantastic. Buddy, I think, I wish that I could do that more, go out there and we have one dog right now, and she's 16 years old. She's on every time we go home or every time we wake up. We can't believe she's still alive.
Yeah.
So we're waiting and waiting and waiting. It's not time for us to introduce a new animal yet, because that cat's on our dog is on its last leg. But as soon as that dog does pass, we'll go through the mourning process with that, and then we're gonna either adopt or get another animal.
Come on down to my neighborhood. You can find one at no cost.
Because, man, I can't tell you how much joy those animals have brought me in my life.
I've never been a pet person. I didn't grow up with pets. Yeah. And so this first cat was a completely new experience for me. It took a while for me to get adjusted to this. But you're right. And there are times where you come home and you think, I'm responsible for this thing being alive every day.
That's right. That's right.
And it loves me.
Yes.
And I kind of love it.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best. All right. We had something else we're going to talk about.
That's all right. The Gondola project.
Oh, the gondola. Is that going to go to the Dodgers
I'll tell you this. The city council doesn't have authority over it. But what they did today is they voted to oppose it formally. LA Metro will ultimately consider the environmental impact report.
Okay. So this is only been 25 years they've been working on this.
We don't build anything in this city.
Nothing. If you go to Vietnam, you go to South Korea, you go to anywhere over there in the Asian area, China, Japan, they build. They constantly build and improve their infrastructure, and the lives of the people live there. We never do that here.
We don't do it well. I mean, we got the D-line extension delayed, the People Mover delayed. Do you want to talk about the high-speed rail project?
Right. $130 billion, and we got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's what nothing. Monks, you're a hero, and you're on 7 to 9 p.m. on Saturday.
I'll be here.
With all the rain reports.
All the rain.
All right, and give us updates on Dose.
I will tell the full story about Dos on Saturday.
Dose.
We'll see. I'll let you know how she did today on Saturday.
All right. We're live on KFI. It's Conway. Thank you, Monks.
You're listening to Tim Conway Jr. on demand from KFI AM 640.
Rain is the big story. Rain, rain, rain. So you must keep it here on KFI AM 640. Hey, we got something cool for everybody and for us as well. We're going to Orange County. That's right. Me and Crozier and Angel and Bellio, we're all going to the Pastathon Smart and Final for the kickoff in Yorba Linda. So it's going to be Friday, a week from this Friday, November 21st, 4 to 8 p.m. We're going an extra hour so people can slide by. Live broadcast. Live. And we'll have some special guests. We don't know who they are yet, but people show up. It's at 21500 Yorba Linda Boulevard, right off the 91 freeway. I bet you know where that is. If you live in Yorba Linda, that's your Smart and Final. You know where it is. And we'll be broadcasting live to kick off the Smart and Final, taking donations in store for the KFI Pastathon. We'll be there till 8 p.m. There's giveaways, food samples, and special gift bags only for the first 250 people that show up. So you probably don't have to get there at 4 to get a gift bag. You probably don't even have to get there by 7:30. We'll have plenty. We have 250 of them. Bellio, what's in that gift bag? Do we know yet? Is she not there?
I am.
What's in the gift bag? Do we know for the Yorba Linda giveaway?
I have no idea.
I thought that was your deal, and you were going to put that together.
Well, I didn't, and I don't even know. You want me to find out?
No. Never mind. Nah.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I know. You're not busy.
I'm not busy at all. I got plenty of time.
All right.
Let me go find that out.
All right. Thank you. All right. The big debate going on every single year. Christmas trees, real or fake? Crozier, fake or real? What do you do? Christmas trees. What do you typically do?
I've mostly done real, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. The smell of it.
Yeah.
The feel of it.
Yeah, you can't replace that.
Yeah. And then going to get it is also a tradition in our house.
Yeah.
We go as a family. We look, I always say, oh, this one's, a big chunk is taken out of the trunk. It's going to die. Let's look for something else. Oh, no. I'm telling you, this one's going to die. Put it on the car. Put it on the car. We'll take it home. It'll die in 3 days. Then I'll take it back to Lowe's. And I'll have to get my money back and get another one.
I've gotten into the habit of going to Lowe's or something like that and just finding the crappiest tree possible. And I've had them give it to me before just because, go ahead and just take that.
Oh, that's great.
For it, yeah. But Jen and I have dabbled in the idea of biting the bullet and buying a really, really nice artificial one like the Aldic ones, which are just unbelievable.
Yeah, the Aldic ones are if I could afford an Aldic one, I'd buy one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But you got to spend $1,000 to get a good fake tree.
That's therein lies the rub. Yeah. I got a smaller, cheaper artificial one a couple years ago, right after we got our cat. But within an hour, the cat bit through the wire and the whole lights were out. All the lights were out. So these Aldic ones, I know that won't happen because this light is individual.
But that's a true story. We went to Lowe's. And my wife and daughter loved this tree. It was like the perfect Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And I said, but there's a chunk taken out of the base of it, out of the trunk.
Yeah.
And I said, that's going to affect the water it absorbs because a tree drinks from the outside. The inside doesn't mean anything. It's the outside, right below the bark. That's where all the water gets absorbed into the tree. And when that bark is missing, the tree's going to die. And I said, this tree's going to die. And she goes, yeah, but we really like it. I said, yeah, but it's going to die. Yeah, but we put it on. Put it on the car. We'll take it home. Take it home. Put the lights on. Put the ornaments on. 3 days later, after tons of water and putting in the nutrients, all that stuff, dead. Lights come off. Bulbs come off. Ornaments come off. Stars come off. The icicles, everything comes off. I take it back to Lowe's. I go, hey, this thing died. And she said, well, how long have you had it? And I said, sweetie, look, I'm not in the game of returning anything, especially live trees. I'll just buy another one. She goes, no, we'll give you another one. And they gave me another one. It was very nice of them.
Well, first of all, the argument of how long ago did you buy it? It's like, you sold it just before Christmas. Are you telling me you're selling any trees?
They were nice about it.
Expire at Christmas?
They were very nice about it. They gave me a brand new, beautiful tree. It lasts me a long time.
Good for them. I always go for. I have a sentimental thing about real ones. I go for the Charlie Brown tree.
Okay, all right. And then one winter we went to Oregon right at Christmas. We got a tree, and I go into Lowe's. Big Lowe's fan. And I see a tree that's 9 feet or 8 feet. And it has a price tag on it. And somebody was goofing with everybody because the price tag said $1. And so I said to the guy, I go, hey, somebody put this goofy tag on it. How much is this tree? And he goes, that's $1. And I said, how is that $1? He goes, well, it's December 22nd.
Yeah.
If I don't move these trees, I got to pay someone to take them out of here. So $1. We bought a Christmas tree for $1.
That's the way to do it. If you can hold out.
Yeah, $1.
But then you leave that tree up long after Christmas to get your money's worth.
I try to put the warm water, the sugar, the aspirin, the fluids. I got this thing on life support.
You're like a horticulturist.
That's right. Or at least the first part of that. But I love the smell when you come downstairs or you come home from outside of that smell of the pine and that that new beautiful scent. It's just the best.
Yes, that smell, man, you can't replicate.
And it looks better for some reason. That I don't know what it is. I think what it is, I just like going out and searching. I hate buying at the first place we stop. I like to go like 5 or 6 places, have a coffee, look around. It's raining or it's snowing up in Oregon. It's just a beautiful thing to do. Great thing to do.
You want to hug a real Christmas tree.
That's right. That's exactly right. All right. We are on Storm Watch, and all of the rain reports are being brought to you by our pal at Roof Buddy. RoofBuddy.com or 866-95-BUDDY. So when you hear weather on this station today between now and 7 p.m., it is brought to you by our buddy Levi at Roof Buddy. 866-95-BUDDY. It's Conway Show. We're live on KFI. Conway Show on demand on the iHeartRadio app. Now, you can always hear us live on KFI AM 640, 4 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and anytime on demand on the iHeartRadio app.